In this video, we are going to talk a little bit more in depth about the two different meetings that you need to hold in order to close out your ARPA project. You can find information about these meetings in the ARPA project closeout guide. You can find that closeout guide on the program hub. If you go all the way to the bottom to the project closeout section, you see here that there's a link to the project closeout guide. And that's just a short PDF that walks through these meetings a little bit more in depth, as well as the rest of the closeout process. But these meetings need to be held in order to ensure that you have everything that is required to be in your project folder, that you have access to the people who can get you that documentation if you can't find it, and to ensure that data is available for your project so that we can report back to the Treasury Department how we used those funds and how your project was executed. So the first thing that you're going to do is fill out this ARPA closeout meetings request form. There are 2 meetings that you need to hold, but you only need to fill out this form once. Both DSNA and ODG will be notified when you fill that out, and we will set up those different meetings that need to be held. You can see here, you fill out your name, the ARPA project that you're looking to meet about, and your project AUL ID. And then there are some optional fields. If anyone besides you ought to be in those meetings, please let us know. If there's anything specific that you want to cover in that meeting, besides the regular stuff that we go through, please let us know that as well so that we can all show up fully prepared for the meetings. The project closeout meeting is held with ODG, ODFS, OCP, and GJC, who is the city's outside compliance consultant. In that meeting, we are going to walk through your closeout checklist. Hopefully you have already gone through the checklist and made sure that the items that you are responsible for populating in your project folder are there, that you've checked off everything that you've reviewed. And likewise, other folks should be going through your checklist as well and checking off their items. You may have also, as you're going through the checklist, made some comments about, something that you might have a question about, something that might be missing. We will cover those comments in that meeting. So in that meeting, you'll walk through your checklist and basically note any items that have outstanding to do tasks, such as, you may have a question about different versions of a document that you have. Is this version okay? Or should I use that version? Or we'll make sure that the budget amount that's listed on your AUL and or on your project plan is the correct final budget for your project. This is a meeting that basically just gathers together all of the people who are required to sign off on things as well as all of the people who might have access to documents that ought to go in your project folder. Gather them together all in one place so that we can determine what else needs to be done before we can close this project out. It is certainly likely that we will come out of this meeting with other to-do list items. That's fine. Hopefully, though, we will get out of the meeting, substantially through the checklist, and there will just be a few outstanding items left. The second meeting that you will need to hold is a data closeout meeting. That is a meeting just with DSNA, and they will walk through the data that was collected for your project, any data feeds that they may have access to or need access to. And this is basically just to make sure that when DSNA is putting together final reports about your project and about ARPA as a whole, that we have the correct data to put that report together to tell the story of not just what your project did, but what it impacted, etc. Obviously, those data feeds and that data is going to be different for every project. There are some projects that didn't have reporting requirements. You should still obviously fill out this form. And if it is the case that you didn't have reporting requirements, DSNA will let you know. You will come out of that meeting with, well, if there are no to-do list items that still need to happen after that meeting, you will come out of that meeting with a PDF sign-off from DSNA saying that they have everything that they need for your project, and that would go into the reporting folder in your project folder, and it'll look something like this, that you've met with the DSNA staff and that they've determined that they have everything that they need, or that there was no data that was produced or you were exempt from reporting requirements. So this is an item that you need to have in your project folder, and that DSNA meeting is where you will get that. If you have any questions about these closeout meetings or about anything else related to closeout, first make sure that you check out the program hub, and hopefully the resource that you need to answer your own question will be there. If it isn't, you'll see obviously at the top, these are the most important people who can get your question answered. ODG ARPA team is always willing to help point you in the right direction, and we look forward to working with you on Project Closeout.